Police say they found him across the city in a backyard, naked, holding a Bible, where they used a taser to bring him down.
He said that he was Jesus, and there was really no reason whatsoever given. It was a completely random choosing of the victims.
And was walking down the street naked when he spotted him.
I think he said something about, I'm a Christian soldier or something, and then we were like, what the F? He turns around and sees us, and that's when he, starts running at us full sprint, and that's when we get inside.
APD says Ninedecker was holding a Bible, telling officers he was Jesus before officers used a taser to take him into custody.
His mannerisms were erratic. He was saying that stuff about power of Christ compels you.
Detectives say they're still trying to understand what drove Ninedecker's actions that day.
We're still looking into the drug portion of it. He could have been under the influence of narcotics. It might not necessarily be all attributed to mental illness, so we're still investigating all of that.
Walt, we're learning new details about this bizarre and tragic incident that sprawled across the town of Austin, but started right here at this Target parking lot. But today I spoke with a witness that tells me they saw Ethan get arrested in their neighborhood, but not before he charged at them completely naked. On Monday afternoon, Austin police say 32-year-old Ethan Ninedecker opened fire at a North Austin Target off Highway 183 and Olin, killing a Target employee in the parking lot. He then shot a grandfather and his 4-year-old granddaughter sitting in their SUV.
The actions of the suspect showed a complete disregard for human life.
Investigators say the victims, 24-year-old Hector Martinez Machuca and 65-year-old Adam Chow and his 4-year-old granddaughter, were targeted at random. Ninedecker is charged with 2 counts of capital murder and 1 count of murder. Police say he stole Chow's SUV, crashed it minutes later, then hijacked another car. Witnesses described a trail of wrecked vehicles and a suspect determined to keep running.
It was just a really bizarre Monday. It was just out of the blue.
Brian Jones saw it all, literally from his front yard in a quiet South Austin cul-de-sac on La Casa Drive. Police say when Ninedecker got to the area, he ditched his clothes in a nearby porta potty. Jones says he then took a shower using a neighbor's backyard hose and was walking down the street naked when he spotted him. The documents show he told officers, quote, "I killed a man and a baby girl today in the Target parking lot because I'm Jesus." Criminal defense attorney Amber Vasquez is not connected to the case, but says what's described in these documents raises major legal questions. Police say Ninedecker admitted he shouldn't have shot them, and when asked why he spared Chow's wife, who was also in the SUV, he first said because mothers are pure. Then, quote, "I guess because I ran out of bullets."
And someone from Ninedecker's Bible study said Ninedecker threw a brick through his home. Police found him naked on Montclair Street, and he was tased and arrested. We asked police what his motive was.
He said that he was Jesus, and there was really no reason whatsoever given.
I'm your Brevard County community correspondent, James Sparvero. We have a little more insight now as to why the sheriff's office says a 22-year-old drove from Texas to West Melbourne to kill his own grandparents. The motive has been the big question in this tragedy. Last week before a judge, Jeremiah Campbell broke down as the judge read him his charges, including 2 counts of murder.
Thank you.
Just like we saw him crying in court a week ago, this new affidavit from the Brevard Sheriff's Office says Jeremiah Campbell was sobbing uncontrollably and shouting a stream of incoherent words when he was arrested, too. It reads, after Mr. Campbell was detained, he made a spontaneous utterance saying that God told him to send his grandparents to him, and now Satan sees I am a valuable man of the kingdom.
He wanted his grandfather dead.
Last week, Terry French, whose granddaughter was shot too and survived, told me he lived across Washington Street from George and Mary White, who were in their 80s, for more than 30 years. The sheriff's office says George White ran to Terry's house after Campbell killed his grandmother first.
Best neighbor you ever know. Do anything for you. I hope we get close to an answer. That's the real question I want to know.
Also available for public record now, there's a list of things that sheriff's deputies took from Jeremiah Campbell's grandparents' house. Included in that list, and it doesn't specify to whom these things belong to, but there's guns, prescription medications, and I also noticed a wig and a handwritten note that they seized. I've asked the state attorney's office about what's written on that note. As soon as they share any more in the investigation, we'll update this story again on News 6 and ClickOrlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero. News 6.
image on your screen now is taking over social media tonight. It appears to show a shadowy figure that some say looks like a demon. A man posted the image to his Facebook page. Since then, it's been shared thousands of times, with people debating, though, whether they see a demon or an angel.
This is why Peter warned that Satan's objective is never to be benevolent, but always to be diabolical and predatorial. As he said in 1 Peter 5:8, your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring, devouring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So my wife and I and the family were staying down in Florida this last week, down on the Gulf of America. You start looking for something that's a danger that maybe you didn't even recognize was a potential danger at all. And this, to me, is what's really the problem I think many of us have. We don't realize how real an adversary the devil is. And I don't want to get people all freaked out and see demons in the toilet, but I've checked ours, and there have been times when there's things that are otherworldly in there. Is it that hard to flush? But he says he wants to devour you. This word katapino in the Greek, eagerly eat you up. Paul said in Galatians 5:15, he said, we need to be careful that we don't bite and devour and consume one another. It's the same word. That he wants to bite you and devour you and consume you. So that in Screw Tape Letters, Lewis characterized the devil's pleasures. It says they love to bite and hear the crunch of your bones between their jaws. Very graphic illustration, but he was trying to say you have to understand that this diabolical intent is not something that is happenstance or casual, that he is determined. And I think that oftentimes as Christians, we are not nearly as determined in our pursuit of God because we fail to recognize how determined the evil one is to keep you from pursuing God. He is essentially Satan.
All right, so real quick though, I'm gonna get to something real quick, right? So the guys in the video at the beginning, they say they all killed, they all murdered in the name of God and in the name of Jesus. So what I'm ready to say, the God of the Bible is not the creator. The God of the Bible is nothing but a mere man, the form, shape of a man. So let's see. Because you should test the spirit by the spirit. If something is wicked, you're going to be like your father. And that's what them guys was doing. So what them guys did was nothing too far-fetched from what the God of the Bible did. Or will do, or did. So check this out. We got here in 1 Samuel 15 and 13. It got 15 and 3. Now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. Check this out. This is the God of the Bible telling the Israelites to go do this. But it said thou shalt not kill, but it is what it is. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling. Do you know what a suckling is? Check this out. This is the God of the Bible, though. A suckling is an unweaned child or animal. Come on now. That's just crazy. So you got the God of the Bible telling the Israelites to go kill little sucklings, little babies still on their mother's breast. Still on their mother's breast. And you wonder why them people be killing people and saying they do it in the name of God. Because the God of the Bible is wicked. It's not the creator. Let's see what we got here. Let's go back to this. Everybody know about it.
Because when you read this Bible, there's one thing that's guaranteed you'll find out when you go through this Bible like I have. God kills over 3 million people in the Bible. The devil kills nobody. He kills nobody. Satan kills nobody. God kills 3 million. Isaiah 45:7. That's where you're going. God says, I create the good and I create the evil. Do what I saith the Lord. He didn't say Satan made the evil. He didn't say, oh, that doggone Satan, he's creating all the evil in the world. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He literally said, I create the good and I create the evil. And you know what? He damn right, because he killed 3 million people in that Bible.
Crazy.
The best he can do is hurl a rock at the planet and try to kill as many as he possibly can. Because when you read this Bible, there's one.
All right, let's go to something else real quick. All right, now right here, like I was saying at first, you got the black guy, he killed his grandma and his granddaddy in the name. He said he did it because God told him to do it. What God? The Creator ain't telling him to do that. You got to know the character of the Creator from those gods that they give you from that Bible, because that God of the Bible is all about war, all about murdering and everything. He's a jealous God. He's in the form of a man. So people wonder why people do things like that and say God told them to do that. Because the God of the Bible is wicked. I don't care what nobody say. For instance, now let's see what I'm talking about. Numbers chapter 15, 32 through 36. And you got people that's going to try to defend this. But it is what it is, because you can do what you want to do. But I won't rock with it. Now, while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks. Now, for those who know, when people keep the Shabbat, you know, you shouldn't go grocery shopping or nothing, right? You shouldn't do nothing. That's what they tell you. So now, while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation. They put him under God because it had not been explained what should be done to him. Then the Lord, here we go. Then the Lord said to Moses, the man must surely be put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. So as the Lord commanded Moses, all the congregations brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones. Come on, man. That's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Let's get back to this video, though. Just wanted to show you that real quick. But that's wild, you know?
That is the embodiment of everything that is wrong in the universe, and there's a lot that's wrong. So until that evil is taken out of the way, which doesn't happen until the end of the tribulation and the end of the millennium, this world is going to be struggling and having problems. But secondly, the second thing necessary for the world to live in synchronization with heaven is that the universe itself is going to have to be replaced with a new heaven and a new earth, as we talked about last time. And again, I emphasize this because I don't think it really sinks into people's mind. You know, because when you speak of your life in this world and someone has said very popularly, you need to seek your best life now, you have to understand that that's not even functionally possible, even as a Christian, to have your best life as you might define it.
So let me just go into this real quick.
Police say they found him across the city.
Pause. Let me go into this. Like, first of all, just let you know, this has nothing to do with a complex cell and a prokaryotic cell thing. This is those that took that jab versus those that did not take that jab. The Son, we are in Revelations. Revelations is the revealing of everything of all life. Genesis has to do with genetics. and what that species is. That species cannot no longer hide. And that species right there, what you just saw, what I'm showing you right here, is Pindar, Moloch, the Dragon King. These species are here. All you have to do is pull up the Sumerian text and look at the wing, look at the species with the wings on the back. Those are the creators of the complex cell. Those are the creators of this fake reality. Those are the creators of these all complex cell organisms. The human life, the white man, the Asian man, the Arab man, the animals, that is the species right there. So all the Bible and all of the religious books, yeah, that's good poetry for them. That's not for us. In that book, it spoke about these other life forms. These life forms are here, and your cameras are picking them up. It's nothing that they can do about it. It's too much light coming into the planet. I told you, genetics, the sun and genetics. That's all. You go into that, you will know that there is a species on this planet that created a species that don't belong here. And why did they do it? Huh? I told you.